I didn't ask about the border. I didn't ask about.
No, talking about the relationship.
Let's start that question again, and then he hangs up the phone again because he doesn't know how to debate.
Typical MAGA.
Hey, what I wanted to ask you for is to just see what happened, with all this yelling and stuff like that in Congress. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I agree.
With all this Congress,
I agree. Let me ask you a question. And again, I agree with you. I've given my opinions on accountability to both sides here in that argument, debate, whatever you want to call it. Who do you think is doing more of that these days, the left or the right?
What do you mean?
I mean exactly what I mean. Who do you think is doing more yelling and disrespect and games and showboating? The left or the right?
Who's being the bully?
Both? Give me an example of Democrats being bullies.
A bully, yeah, please.
Like that Jimmy Gomez guy, who said, when they go low, we kick them down. That's what he said from Orange County, Democrat.
Okay, give me an example of Democrats that are bullying. Can you give me
any example?
Because I could give you 100 examples of Republicans that are bullying, including with the leader of the free world, Donald Trump, who does it every single day, threatening to put people in jail.
Threatening their jobs,
threatening their job. Right, exactly. Leonard said exactly. Can you give me an example of a Democrat bullying Republicans in the last, I don't know, year?
Isn't that bullying? Jimmy Gomez. We kick them down.
Who?
Jimmy Gomez, Democrat.
Who? Say that again. Who is he saying?
Jimmy Gomez.
Jimmy Gomez?
Okay, yeah. I don't know who that is.
He said when they go low, we kick them down. He said that.
Okay, but that's saying that you want to fight. That's saying when they fight us, we are going to fight back.
I'll say that. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
That's not, sir. That's not the definition of bullying. It means we are going to fight harder than you for the American people. That's not bullying. Okay, Donald Trump has violence. No, it's not. No, it's not.
If someone comes on the show and goes low with Brian, and someone gets in the dirt with Brian, what Brian is saying is, yes, I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to fight back. That is not a bully. That is not the definition of a bully.
Did you just say that's inciting violence? Is that what you just said?
Inciting violence.
I know you said his name 5 times. It doesn't make your point any stronger. You said that's inciting violence?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, that's absolutely ridiculous. What would you say about Donald Trump, who says he hates half the country at Charlie Kirk's funeral service? What would you say to that? What would you say to that?
Every time with Donald Trump, I'm not going to.
Because you give horrible examples, and I give clear examples. When somebody says when they go low, we're going to go lower. That's not inciting violence.
Hyperbole. That's not even legit. That's not even a legitimate statement.
You haven't given me any real examples of a Democrat bullying a Republican. That was a terrible example. So I'm going to ask you now. The leader of the free world, the leader of the Republican Party, at Charlie Kirk's funeral says he wishes the worst on his opponents and basically said he hates half the country. Why won't you call that out?
Follow it up with hurting them.
And you say some guy that I've never heard of before that you claim made a statement when they go low, we're going to go lower, which by the way is not inciting violence. Okay, well, why is it every single time I bring up the actual leader of the Republican Party, you get defensive and you say, why is it every time you bring up Donald Trump? I'll tell you why. Because he's the president of the United States. He's the insulter in chief. He's dividing the country. He's treating people who might come from areas like you like garbage. Where are you from, sir? Where are you originally from? X, where are you originally from? Where are you originally from? Iranian. Do you think that Donald Trump is doing a good job in protecting people who might sound like you and look like you?
He sent the military to democratic states to bully them with tear gas and rubber pellets. He sent the military to bully people physically, violently.
X, I'm not asking you about, I could care less what Mike Pence says. I'm asking you now. Mike, I need you to focus. I could care less what that stiff Mike Pence says about anything, okay? I'm asking you now, X, okay? You are from Iran. Do you think that Donald Trump has been good for the Iranian people and immigrants in general? Yes or no?
As far as the border goes,
nope, I didn't ask about the border. I didn't ask about
the relationship.
Let's start that question again, and then he hangs up the phone again because he doesn't know how to debate.
Typical MAGA.
Here's the question
they have no argument, no talk. Just talking points. There's no sense.
Here's the question that I was trying to ask X, which he didn't answer. He said he's from Iran. I said, do you think Donald Trump has done a good job for the Iranian people? And he says, the border. I didn't ask him about the border. I asked him, is he doing a good job? By the way, last I checked, Donald Trump is the guy who dumped bombs.
They bombed him
into
Iran.
Okay. That's the guy that I checked. That last time I checked. And the guy that X brings up is some guy serving California's 24th district, a very, very small community in California. And that's his example. When I give the example of Donald Trump, who happens to be the president of the United States, he brings up some assemblyman or some guy who is, I don't know, some 24th district person. And he says, when they go low, they go lower. And that's his example of the left and the right doing the exact same thing.
Not somebody. And can I say something on Iran?
I just want to say one more thing about X, which is, don't go into the show if you're going to hang up like the coward that you are.
Yeah, be prepared with an argument. And can I say something about Iran? Because Donald Trump is taking credit for obliterating their nuclear program and the uranium and et cetera. And Iran came out with a statement. And you know what they said? They said, yeah, you damaged what we were working on, but we still have the technology. What does that mean to you, Brian?
Of course.
What were they? What is the dog whistle?
Because it was a failure. And they had a couple. We talked about this on the show. They had 48 hours to prepare. It's why we have video of our own intelligence showing trucks that were leaving the facility. What do you think were in those trucks? No, the MAGA Republicans don't want to talk about that because it was a disaster. And this guy has the gall to call into the show and talk about some guy in the 24th district of California that said, when they go low, we go lower. And he makes that comparison to Donald Trump and the hate speech from the far right. It's a joke.